So here we are, Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. And I assume that there's people all over the world watching this, and that's wonderful. That's a cool part about Insight Timer and how we can use it and that kind of thing. So I wanted to put out a question, and feel free to come back with your comments on the screen here. A real simple question, and you can just give me a real simple answer if you like, if you want to play along with me on this. But the question is, why do you meditate? Why do you meditate? So think about that for a few moments and write down your reply if you would like to. Why do you meditate? And it could be a few words. I might throw out a few suggestions. A lot of people meditate because they have a lot of stress in their lives and they want to feel healthier physically. Some people meditate because they want to feel healthier mentally. Because of maybe because of the stress or because of the the busy lifestyle that they have. They want to kick it down a degree, that type of thing. Some people just want to be happier. They feel like meditation will allow them to be happier in life. Here's a couple of. It creates. Allison says it creates a reality of now or calm. Yep. Chuck, it allows me to find the stillness within and to reside there for a little while. Yeah, totally. Adina, hi Adina, nice to have you here again. Calm, compassionate heart, very nice. Kristen, I had to learn. I was screamed by the universe to get this the universe wanted you to get this understanding. Yeah. So meditation is wonderful for a deeper understanding of ourselves, and consequently a deeper understanding of our world. Of all people. Martin says, I think it mindfulness training. Hi, Martin. Michael says, I meditate because it relaxes me and gives me a sense of inner peace, a feeling I can't realize otherwise. Very cool. Melody, to calm down anxiety and PTSD. Kristen was pulled forcibly, I think. Okay, well, I can relate. Jim says monkey mind, usually circus bound. Totally. I love the cliche of the monkey mind. It really points to what is, for a lot of us. When I first started meditating, I was always drawn to meditation, even as a young boy, but I never tried it. I never knew what to do. I saw people meditating on TV a little bit. And I was fascinated by it. More so, I would see pictures of, like pictures of the Buddha or pictures of these spiritual gurus up in the Himalayan mountains, meditating in the snow or on a cliff of a mountain or something. And I thought, what is going through their mind? And I was just fascinated by the idea of meditation. And finally, I tried it. I actually sat down and I tried it. I got a little bit, just a little bit of instruction, and I didn't last very long. I didn't even last 5 minutes, but I tried it again the very same time the next day. That was in the morning, actually around sunrise. Consequently, we were talking about sunrise and sunset, but it was in the sunrise, and I sat, and my first meditation was bleh, and but there was something there that I really liked, and I was forced to. I was forced to go back and really check it out and just do it really, really consistently. Seed says it brings me to balance, calm, confidence. Judy says it helps me develop a better sense of myself. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, and I think a lot of us can relate to these responses. the not that they're ordinary responses, because everybody's experience is a little bit different. Just like every meditation is different. Every time I go into meditation, it feels different for me. There are some commonalities, some things that seem to happen, particularly if I set a specific intention for like a mindfulness practice or a jhana practice or something like that. There are things that come up. I don't really expect them to, but they do happen. You know, some common things. But overall, the experience is different. So, and I have to throw out there the one way. I really feel I'm talking to experienced meditators here. There might be a few people that are new to meditation, and I'll address those people as well. But for you people that have been meditating for quite a while, if you ever wonder if your meditation practice is working, there's one way to check, and that is that you are becoming happier. And it's so subtle it's like climbing a ladder with little rows, and all of a sudden you realize that where I was last year or the year before when I started meditating, or 10 years ago or whatever, that your world is completely different, right? I mean, that you are a much happier person. And if that is not the case, I invite you to really look at your meditation and see if there is something that you're not quite doing as far as letting go of planning, letting go of being kind of tied with the past or the future. And so our meditation should be very, very calming, very present. We should be very present. We should recognize the things that we should let go of, the things that we should surrender or renounce in our lives. And I'm talking about primarily what we recognize as attachments. And when these things fall away, and oftentimes they do effortlessly through the practice of meditation. You know, there's no effort behind it, it just happens. And when these things start falling away, we become happier because we actually physically and mentally become lighter, and we kind of fall into the flow of life. I kind of feel like I'm preaching to the choir here, you know, because, you know, after all, this is Insight Timer. A lot of you have been meditating for a long, long time, but if I was out there sitting, these are the things that I would want to hear, even though they are reminders. And reminders are, you know, I can listen to things again and again and again, and I never get tired of it if it's something that helps me, even though I might have heard it 10 years ago. You know, and repetition in the practice, repetition in the teachings or in the facilitating always helps. But primarily, the thing that we want out of meditation is the thing that we want out of life. The thing that we want out of our meditation practice, our sitting formal meditation, this is the same thing that we want out of life. So if we want to be happier in life, we want to be happier in our meditation. If we want to be calmer, we want our meditation to bring about a sense of calm. And I think primarily, in a way, most of us would want to wish to wake up. I think a lot of times, I don't know if anybody's ever even said that here about the question of why we meditate. But if we really go deep, we will see that, I think we will see that we want to wake up. We want to become enlightened to a certain extent. But I think a lot of us feel that is such a lofty goal for our meditation practice that we might consider it subconsciously, but we don't consider it enough to write it down in the comment section here. Ask yourself, do a little self-inquiry and ask yourself if that might be correct. We want to wake up. Like if meditation guaranteed that we could wake up, that we could become enlightened, everybody would probably be practicing it. Everybody would be seeking out, the best meditation teacher, the best online course or whatever it might be, so that they could, go through this process. Granted, there are people that don't want to wake up because they understand that it's not, the ideal, might not be the ideal condition for them. There's a situation of a pro golfer that he wanted to wake up so bad. It was like a desire, and I said, are you ready to give up your career? Let's say you woke up and you became enlightened, and you realize that your golf career is not what you really want out of life. Would you be willing to give that up? And he said no. And that changed his mind about what he wanted to change in his life. Did he really want to pursue that awakening? And I could kind of tell by how he was asking and how he was going about it that that's what he wanted, but he didn't want to really put the work into it. And there was a suspect that he thought waking up would improve his golf game, seriously. And so I posed the question, and I think he decided that he would pursue something else. So it's waking up might not be for everybody. It's not on their agenda. But I think as far as meditators go, waking up to their true nature and who they are is very, very important. And some of the responses in the comments kind of led into that. And this meditation that we're going to be doing is kind of, I shouldn't say kind of, it is along those lines of taking our practice to the next level. It's kind of a takeoff from where we left off last week. If you weren't here last week, don't worry about it. We will dive right in, and you won't miss a thing. But I want to just let you know that this meditation that we're going to be doing is related to really a deeper look into meditation. And more than just sitting in presence, more than just concentration, more than just focusing on our meditation object, but beyond that. And we will do that in a few moments here. So as I mentioned, if we are having trouble with our meditation as far as being happier with life, being more complete with life, we want to really understand that we are probably still time bound. And what I mean by that is that when we're going into meditation, we might be thinking about something that happened in the past. These kinds of things do happen to everybody, but a lot of people get in the habit of using their meditation practice to look at something that has happened or to plan for their future. And it's a bad habit that can really interfere with a person's meditation practice. And if you're new to meditation and you're kind of wondering what I'm talking about, don't worry. But when I talk about being time bound, it is allowing our minds to really go into the past and go into the future in a habitual way. We're allowing that to happen because we don't feel secure. We don't feel that resting in that presence, in that aware stillness of the present moment, is very secure. We just feel as if it's kind of unstable. It's not really a place that we're used to. So our minds will want to go into planning, which is the future, or go into maybe something that has happened in the past, or maybe something that we're angry about in the past. All that anger is stored in the past memories, that is, And the fear, if there is any fear in our lives, it has to do with our future. So something to keep in mind. So again, what we're hoping to get out of meditation is what we're hoping to get out of life. So what do you want out of life? We wish to go beyond the material world in our meditation. And that doesn't mean that we are we're throwing everything out the window, so to speak. It doesn't mean that we are not that we shouldn't pay attention to our lives and our responsibilities that we have, in our life, for our family, for our friends, and for ourselves. We're not throwing, fate to the wind. But when we set the intention to do our meditation, we really want to be as present as possible. And we really want to be able to really tune into the finer aspects of meditation. And we will do that here in a moment. And the finer aspects are going beyond, as I said a little while ago, going beyond just the presence or just the concentration. For many, many years, I did mindfulness-based meditation practices, and very good practices, and I still do those techniques. I'm very aware of my thoughts as they come into my experience while I'm meditating, not hanging on to anything, just letting the thoughts just move on by, not grasping onto anything. If there's any pains in the body, I recognize that I'm not really in the mind as far as the mental aspect of the practice as much as I should be, because I recognize that the body shouldn't be a factor at all. If the body is a factor, then I'm not concentrated. And that concentration is another part of the practice of meditation that I've gone deeply into, jhana practice from the Theravada Buddhist tradition. And in jhana practice, what we're trying to do is keep the hindrances at bay, the hindrances that hinder our practice and hinder our life, the desire and the fear and the anger. Every aspect of meditation has a degree of concentration. Not all aspects of meditation have the degree of concentration that is necessary for jhana. The practice that we're going to do here in a couple minutes is really a combination of these things. The more concentrated we become, the better, but it's not a prerequisite to have a good meditation. What I'm going to be attempting to do in this guided meditation, and there will be silence involved too, but in this guided meditation, I'm going to take you into the meditation object, but then ask you to step back and to realize who's actually doing the meditation. And there should be, hopefully, a sense of profound freedom in doing this type of practice. You're doing a practice that is totally self-discovery. It's a practice in discovering who you are. We could call it self-realization from the Buddhist perspective. It is an annihilation of the ego, or it's an actual annihilation of the self from the ego standpoint. In Theravada Buddhism, we say that non-self is a higher realization, that the self shouldn't get involved with our meditation practice. When we talk about the self from that standpoint, we're talking about the ego, and from the Western definition of the ego. But in this practice, we're taking it even beyond that. We're going to be taking a look at our true nature and what our true nature is. Take a few nice deep breaths. I want you to really, really feel the body. I want you to use the body to come into this present moment. And when I say use the body, it could be focusing on the breath. And let's try that for a few moments. Let's just bring our attention to the breath. This is something that we're probably all very familiar with. Just breathing in, breathing out. This might not be everybody's practice using the breath, but chances are it's about 80% of our practice, especially in the beginning of our meditation. If you haven't done so already, just make sure that the body is comfortable, that you feel balanced, the spine is fairly straight, the chin lifted. You should feel initially like you could sit here for a couple of hours. Of course, there's going to be aches and pains within the body that will happen as we meditate. But just initially you should feel very comfortable, as if you could relax for a long time without moving. So we're looking at the body, the breath. And this is our meditation object. We don't have to use the breath. We could use thoughts. We could even use sounds, visualizations. Some people contemplate during their meditation, and if that's done properly, we can confine our thoughts to a single subject, and that could still be considered our object of meditation in contemplation. But whatever our object of meditation is, we want to define it very, very clearly at this moment. If you're using the breath, what area of the breath are you using? Can you narrow it down? Really pinpoint it. Are you feeling the breath at the nostrils? Are you counting the breaths? Are you noticing the beginning of the inhalation or the end of the inhalation? Are you noticing the middle of the breath? Are you noticing the sensation of the breath in the body or on the body? The top of the lip, perhaps, the nostrils, as the air flows in and out. Do you notice the air as it moves through the windpipe? Do you notice the rising and falling of the abdomen? Whatever it might be, even though you're using the breath, you want to pinpoint how you're using it. If you're using some aspect of the mind states or thoughts, or even a feeling, you want to narrow that down, pinpoint it. Is it a pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling? Maybe there's neutrality that you're noticing. Maybe a pleasant state of mind. Maybe you're using the mind, your concentrated mind, as your meditation object. Maybe you're using sounds as your meditation object. What kinds of sounds? Where do you hear the sound? Sound is vibration. thoughts are vibration. Breathing is vibration. We can use sensations of the body for our meditation object. We can use pain. We can use a pleasant feeling within the body, pleasant sensations. Any tactile feeling works as a meditation object. Visualizations or seeing with our eyes closed. Actual tantric practices. These can be used as meditation objects. So whatever your meditation object is, set it with a deep intention and focus on that object. Find the object, focus on it. When your attention leaves that object, bring your attention back gently and repeat this again and again. Those are the basic meditation instructions from the book Meditation, the Great Teacher. Locate your object. Focus on the object, concentrate. When your attention leaves that object, gently bring your attention back and repeat for as long as time permits. These are the basics of all meditation practices. Placing your attention upon your object of meditation with intention. And as your attention strays from the object, bring it back to the object and repeat as necessary. So as we sit in meditation, we know that there is somebody meditating. There's somebody sitting here focusing on an object. And again, this is the basics of all meditation practices. Very calming, very relaxing. An excellent way to focus our concentration like a laser beam. But when you notice as you focus on this object that there is an awareness of this activity, there's an awareness of what we could call this experience of meditation. Now notice who is aware of this activity. Does this awareness of this activity, does it feel as if it's coming from what might feel like home to you? A place that feels very comfortable. Yet at the same time a place that you may have been away from for some time. it may feel like coming home. Continue focusing on your meditation object. But notice that you can be aware that meditation is happening. You can be aware that there is a separate energy that is observing this activity. What is that energy? What is that energy that's doing this observing? Being completely aware of this process, that of focusing on the meditation object, ask yourself, who is doing this practice? Who is doing this meditation practice? You might feel as if you could be the watcher of this practice unfolding. And without trying to place a name on the watcher, without judgment or even without the need to analyze, just rest in this presence and notice how this feels. So you're meditating, but you're just stepping back and watching, being able to watch this process unfold, this process, this experience of meditation. So you're the one that is able to be aware and even watch this practice of meditation. You can pull yourself back from the activity of meditation and be the witness of the practice as it unfolds. And in doing so, it can feel as if you have arrived to a place you have been looking for. It can feel as if you're coming home. Coming home to the safety and the comfort of where you live. Coming back to a place that you have left for a while, but it's always been here for you to return to all along. Your home, the place where you began, the place you never actually left but just forgot about for a while. You're back to your true nature. the presence of mind, your ultimate reality. So as you can witness, or as there's a witnessing of this meditation practice happening, you are witnessing that there's a focusing on the meditation object, that you might be feeling calm, peaceful. And this is the realization of you behind all of life. It says if you were always here, you were always home all along. There was never anything to seek for, nothing to find outside of the aware presence that has always been. For the next few moments, just continue to use the meditation object. Rest the attention and concentration on that object. But at the same time, notice that there's a witness to all of this. Every step can be followed. And that witnessing is I am, that is you, more so than anything else. That which never changes. I invite you to again bring your attention to the breath. Take a little deeper than normal inhalation of the breath. Bring some energy into the body. Gently exhale. Another nice deep breath. Nice exhale. One more nice deep breath. Bring some nice clean air into the body. Bring some energy into the body. Thank you, everyone. If you haven't done so already, you feel free to open your eyes. I wanted to see if there's any questions regarding this meditation or anything in the area of meditation, and go from there. Last week we got done with the meditation and my computer quit. It just stopped, bang, and I kind of left everybody hanging. I apologize for that. And I was hoping that didn't happen this time, and it didn't, so we're good. I hope the buzzing isn't too loud. I'm not sure. It's not audible on my side, of course, but a couple of people said there was some humming or buzzing going on. I apologize for that, if it's still there. This meditation, for some of you, might be a little bit hard to comprehend. Some of you probably followed it right along. Maybe it's not anything new for you, but it's using the meditation object, focusing on that object, and then realizing that there is an aspect of what we could call us that can watch this whole thing unfolding. It's like I can only express it in words clearly by saying it's awareness watching awareness. We don't usually use the English language in that way, but awareness watching awareness, it kind of sums it up. We can be aware that we are aware of that meditation object. And so it's stepping back. Some people say it's like watching ourselves meditate from a movie theater, or if somebody was up in the projection booth, showing a movie of somebody meditating, or ourselves meditating, we could be actually in that booth observing all of this. And the idea is, who is that? I mean, how is that possible that we can do that? It's like being the observer, being the watcher, being the witness to all of this. And it's not only in our meditation practice that we can do it, we can do it in all aspects of life. And again, as I said, that aspect is who we are beyond the aspect of the mind, beyond the intellect. Adina, thank you so much for the donation. It's very, very much appreciated. I remind people that the donations go towards the teachings and the expenses that are involved in teaching and publishing and that type of thing, all to do with meditation and getting it out there to people. So thank you for the donation, Adina. Any questions from, let's see, any questions from anybody? Feel free to. I don't see anything coming up. I don't know if I'm missing anything or not, but I don't think so. I want to remind everybody that I will be here next week. You can sign up, and if you follow me on Insight Timer, you'll see the recordings that are there. But you'll also get a notification, I believe, of these Wednesday meditations that are going to be ongoing every Wednesday, same time, same place. And I hope you can be a part of this. If there's anything I can do for you, reach out, contact me somehow, and ask any questions, anything I can help with, and I'll be there for you, I promise. So if there's nothing nothing else, I will say again, thank you everybody, and we will go from there and hope to see you next week. Sending much love to you. Be well, be safe, and thank you again for being here. Bye-bye.